So we've talked about strings for a little bit. That's, I wouldn't say it's an exotic data type, but it's not quite a simple data type, not quite like an integer and a number. And of course, strings can do a lot of fun stuff. Let's do, again with that, let's do the whole idea of a date. Okay, we're going to do the whole idea of a date. So first thing I'm going to tell you is that dates used to be murderously hard to deal with in the programming world, believe it or not. I mean, because you know, you'd have to do a lot of processing yourself. It hasn't been difficult for a long time now. And I'll tell you what's really cool is that there's actually a data type out there, So I know we so far we've seen int, we've seen decimal, we've even seen string and all that. But here's one for us. And this one, it's a little more complicated. So we're going to go with date. It's an uppercase, date time. So date time. And what I'm going to do is we call this date. I'm going to call it right now. That's what I'm going to call it. And at this point, let's just go semicolon. Now, again, right now isn't being used anywhere. So we get the orange squiggle line. Not an error per se, but it's basically saying, do you know what you're doing? That's kind of what it's saying. So now what I want to do is I want to basically say, I tell you what, right now, I'd like to assign you now. And there's actually the datetime method. Sorry, datetime object has got a method called now. So right now will now be now. Now, why is that line there? Unnecessary assignment of a value to right now. Isn't that interesting? Does it default to that, I wonder? All right, well, I tell you what, first of all, let's do this. We're going to say hello world. It is, and we'll see how much of this is actually going to work. Plus right now. Okay, so awesome. Yeah, so far everybody's happy. Oh, I get it. It's still mad at us because we've got a variable. You're going through the assignment and you're not using it. Now that I'm finally using it, we're back to being cool again. All right. Visual Studio is actually really cool the more you get into it. So let's go ahead, click on the mental space. Look at what it gave me. It gave me the date and it gave me the time and all that kind of stuff, including AM and PM. Very, very, very cool. Nice. All right. So that's kind of a little bit of what now is. I think if I just want the date, I wouldn't necessarily go now. I would basically say, can you please give me today? Today. And yep, today. And if I run it again, now we're going to see the date today. And notice that every date time has a time to it. So it assumes it's midnight of today. Okay. So there's some of that. Now, that actually was based on the code on 273, but take a step back for a second. What if you want to make your own date? Because I mean, who wouldn't? So let's go ahead and say, instead of right now, I'm just going to basically call it special date, special date, special date. And I'm going to make sure I print special date. So that kind of gets rid of that. All right. So there's special date, but I want basically special day to be a date time. Now, the very first line is actually on 271 is a really good way to get sort of a date if you can control everything. So here, I'm going to basically say that special day is assigned a new date time, not type, time. It's a new date time. And I'm going to pass in a year, a month, and I'm going to pass in a date. All right, so it's a new date time, and it's going to take this integer, that other integer, and do something special to it. And notice what it did. It converted these integers to an actual date. That's pretty cool, and definitely something to put in your back pocket. Now, if it turned out that you had a string with a date, okay, a string with a date, which is realistically, I mean, this could happen. You could have a program out there where the year is stored as a variable, the month is stored as a variable, and the day is stored as a variable. You could have that. And then use other methods to convert these things to integers or whatever. But what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to basically have a string. So I'm going to go string, and I'm going to go from str date. And the str date is going to be a date the way that you guys have seen this. I've been going 22, huh? Wow. Okay. Well, just waiting. All right. So there's a nice little string. This should run without a problem. It's not gonna be super happy or wasting its time, but there you go. And so now I'm gonna go special day is actually assigned, and then I'm looking at the book there. I'm gonna basically say, can you take this string? I'm gonna parse it. So I'm gonna use the date time object, and I'm gonna use inside of that object the method of parse, and I'm gonna shoot in str date. Go. Oh, like a champ, like a champ. And you can actually see that it is actually converting it, because this string, it's decided not to show the zeros, and it's also added the extra timestamp on it. So that's pretty darn cool. Now, how flexible is that? You ask. I can't blame you for asking that. Let's try some other stuff out. Let's try the example that they've got a little bit further down, where they're definitely changing the string to be something different. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go September the 1st, 2021, and let's see what it does with that. That is very powerful. So this parse is obviously a very intelligent method that can handle the date given in different formats, which is pretty cool. Can it handle a contraction? Can it handle shift, for example? Let's go. And it blew up. So it can't handle sept, but it can handle September. Interesting things to know. And notice, by the way, this is now a runtime error, not, we're going to talk about exceptions soon, so we may as well, this is a good opportunity to do that. So you get syntax errors, you get runtime errors, and logic errors. In this case, this is a runtime error. The compiler would have no way of knowing that this was going to be a problem until it tried to basically go off and parse that string. So way to go. I'm so happy for this thing. Let's go September. And okay, thank you, dismissed. And I guess we can just stop it and go run again. And now we're back to being the way it worked before. All right, good deal. All right, was there anything else on that page you wanted to show you? Not really. There is something about basically taking the text off of a text box. You're gonna want to peek at that, but otherwise not a big deal. Okay, so we had back to 273. I talked about the now, sorry, today. Let me show you, just like, it's a lot of fun to play with the code. I'm having fun playing with the code. So what I can do with this string is, yeah, I think I'll talk about this and then I might stop. So what I'll do about this is I've got a what's the current date time. Okay, so first of all, let's go with the actual date. So remember, I got my special day. I'm gonna make my special day now. That's what I'm gonna do. So my special day is gonna become now. Awesome. I'm not gonna bother with the string. I'm gonna get rid of that string, and I'm gonna say, hey, can you please print my special day? And there it is. Yay, there's special day. Good. Okay, so what some of these methods we're talking about below are some of the things that special day as a date can do. So special day as a date actually has a method that this little object can do called too long as a date, too long date string. All right, so I actually just closed it too. Well, I tell you what, we don't have to. Here's what I'm going to do here. One is just going to print the special day the way it would come out as it gets implicitly converted to a string. This one is going to use the too long whatever string. Okay, why are you mad? Yeah, I guess so. Okay. Okay, that's an interesting problem. So it's basically whatever's coming out of here is I cannot concatenate it directly to here to this string on the left-hand side. Okay, well, I tell you what. Well, let's see. What are you gonna do? Let's go Alt Enter. Any ideas? You can help me out at all? Help a brother out. Let's go Alt Enter, Grant. Not Alt Caps Lock. Alt Enter. What do you think I should do? You think I should go? Oh, get too long date string special day. Wow. Okay, you know what? I like that. That's a good plan. So on the one hand, it's basically saying, ditch the method or use another, this would be more of a procedure or function, or use this function. Huh. All right, I tell you what, let's try this one out first of all to see if it works. Are you gonna, can I just select you? No, can't just select you. Why, what's up? I want that. That's what I want. That's what I want right there. Look, I'm wanting that. Oh, come on. Okay. Oh, I see. Oh, you're waiting for me. No, that's what I want. I'm gonna now hit enter. Okay. 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 Do I want to talk about this now? So what's happening here is it's saying, hey, you should create your own object, which takes in a date. And then I'm just going to spew out the very thing that I was asking for. And it's going to come up into there. That's what it's saying. Okay, wonderful. And even now it's still mad. Why are you still mad at me? I refuse to edit this out. No, yeah, I didn't think it had anything to do with that. But you know what? This is what you do, try to figure this out. Okay, so I don't get it. Why convert the daytime object to its equivalent, whatever. The string that contains a long date representative of that. You cannot convert rather that to a non-delegate type object. Did you intend to invoke this method? No, I'm just going to run it because I want you to get mad at me. Okay, good deal. No, that's fine. Don't bother. All right. You know what? That's fun. I'm going to put this guy back. Either in the comments or an email, you can tell me what the heck I'm doing wrong. I'm going to put this back. I'm going to basically rip out that. That's totally irritating. I'm going to get rid of that. That's done. I don't need to have no garbage message showing up there. All right, good deal. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to make another string. I'm going to go, hey, string stuff is assigned. Oh, geez, finally, what is the type? It's going to be a string, right? So string stuff is assigned, and I'm going to basically say, hey, can you do this? Can you just basically take this thing, put it into a string? I'm going to go semicolon. I'm going to comment this out and see if that clears up all my problems. It still doesn't clear up all my problems. Oh, what did I tell you guys before? Oh my goodness. So what you just witnessed is a guy who's been doing this for 45 years, and he just fell off his rocker for a second. Remember, all of these methods have to look like methods, which means they have to have the parentheses because every method has to have something coming into it. And so it's not everything. It has to be ready to have something coming into it. It's a really neat reason why it was failing, but I don't want to talk about it. All right. So you know what? Now that I know that the parentheses was giving me grief, I'm going to pull this back out. I'm going to uncomment this. It's going to be a great moment in time. I'm going to put the thing back in like this. There's my parentheses. Everything's great. This is exactly what I wanted to show about half an hour ago. I'm going to bring this guy up and look at that. So our first guy is the date with the this is basically the default display, if you want, the default conversion of a date to a string. Here I'm basically saying, hey, can you use the too long date string method to convert it to look like Monday, September 6th, 2021? That is awesome. That's a too long one. Let's look at the too short one. Okay, so this means convert it to a short date format. Let's go ahead and run that guy. And now we've got an error. Is that an error or what? Why are you not giving me anything? Worst video ever. Okay, let's try that again. Come on, man. Help me out. Give me some sugar. I don't know why you blew up. Stop telling me that. Let's go. All right. You know what? It worked like a charm the second time. So there it is. Now it's just basically giving me the short date string. And so on. You'll see a time string there, a long and a short. Those are awesome to look at. Can I go a little bit further after that exhausting round? Yeah, just a little bit further. I'm going to go to 275, which is just talking about how maybe you want to get the month out, maybe you want to get the hour out. You could try to parse all this yourself. You really could, but you don't really have to. You can actually use methods that come inside any variable that you define as a date type. So if I want, for example, an integer out there, which I'm just going to call a month. I actually don't ever call anything month, by the way. I'm going to call it int month, which again is Hungarian notation, but I'll accept it for now. Maybe, you know what? Actually, no. Grant, let's pretend we're a developer for a second. Emp special month is what I'm going to call it. So this is going to be assigned, and it's going to be assigned the special date. Special day knows stuff. It actually it knows what the month is. Look at that. And then what I can do is print it out so we can see what it is. So let's go. Once we talk about debugging, it's going to be so much nicer. We don't have to talk about, not so much talk, but I don't have to deal with constantly printing things out and running it. Anyway, so there's our int special month. All right, let's go. Oh, like a charm. There it is. Hello world. It is 9, whatever. So what you'll see on 275 is that I could have gone month, I could have gone day, I could have gone hour, day of year. And I think, yeah, there's strings and stuff that I could have done in other contexts. So that's, actually one other thing was actually pretty cool, but it's a Boolean idea. In theory, well, you should know Boolean from your Python days or some other language. But it's interesting to me that this thing can work out like the leap year problem, which you kind of had there. So I tell you what, let me, in theory, we haven't talked about this yet, but let me do a quick control structure here. I'm going to go boom, boom, and here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to basically say if, and I know you go, if, what do you mean if? I don't know anything about an if. Sure you do, right? You know what an if is. So if true, I'm going to go, again, you should know this anyway. Well, I say no shame here, but because again, you all have lives. But let me just go into this, and then I'll talk a lot more about this when I actually formally talk about control structures. So this is going to just basically say if true, true, just in case you're not as familiar with what that actually does. Let's go, go. So what we should see at the bottom here is true, right? So I'm basically saying if something's true, go true. Now what I'm going to say is if it's true, I'll print weekend, right? So print weekend, right? Awesome. So we go print, instead of true, it's going to print weekend. Okay, so now what's the deal? How can you know if it's weekend? Well, what I can do is I can say, instead of true, I can say if the special day is assigned, not assigned, if it's equal to special, yeah, I'm going to regret doing this. Special day dot, now I can't just do Saturday, right? I can't just do Saturday. Days a week, day of the week, current time, day of the week. Yeah. I see what happened there. So I need to have a variable, first of all, that's actually enumerated this out or parsed it out. So I'm going to go, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to basically go day of week. So see how it knows what a day of week is and it's going to be assigned special day dot lowercase n day of week. Okay, let's do that. Let's make you true again for a second, just so I don't have to talk about this. We just want to get that working. All right. Yeah, you know, it was going to be a short video anyway, so may as well make it more long and complicated. So we're focusing down here. So which day of week is this? I'm creating something, an object called day of week, which is the special day of week. So what that did is that now I can go and say, is the so I can say, is the day of special day equal to day of week dot Monday, which happens to be today. All right. So what this did is it created a nice little object that's kind of got basically an attribute in there actually called Monday. So let's run this thing and see what that does. Now this is horrible code because basically if it's Monday, it's a weekend, which is obviously not cool. But what I want you to notice is that look, it thinks it's the weekend, so it's true. Is it Tuesday? And I can go. It's not Tuesday. All right, so it's pretty neat. The enumeration thing was kind of, I didn't really cover it that much because it was in the variable thing, the variable chapter. Definitely something to look at though when we're dealing with what did you say? Things like months, days of the week, more like known or constant values that are out there in the various data sets, which come up a lot in dates. So I think we're good. We're going to deal with a little bit of time travel next, and then we'll go from there.